Hello everyone, hope you all are fine. This is Shikha Tiwari and in this video we will read the leftover part of the nutrition in the animal. So see, in the previous video what we have studied? We have studied about the various things about the nutrition in the animals. We have read about the animal nutrition, that in how many steps the animal nutrition takes place. So the animal nutrition takes place in the 5 steps. We have read all 5 steps, that is called as the ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and digestion. Fine. Now the next thing that we have studied about the digestion in the human beings. We have studied that how the digestive tract or the alimentary canal was formed. We have also an overview of that digestive system also. We have seen the figure of the digestive system also. So in that what we have studied about the mouth, that is called as a buccal cavity. And in the buccal cavity what we have covered, we have studied about the teeth, that how many kinds of the teeth are present: incisors, canines, premolars and molars. How many kind of the milk teeth, how many milk teeth are present, that is 20 milk teeth are present, 10 in the upper jaw, 10 in the lower jaw. We have also read about the permanent teeth, and we have also read about the tongue also. Now tongue also we have read that there is an important function of the tongue also, that what is the main function of the tongue, that with the help of the tongue we are able to speak, and the tongue also makes the food with the saliva. Further from that we have also studied that tongue also have the different kinds of the taste bud also, with the help of which we are able to distinguish between the salty, sour, sweet and the bitter taste. So that also we have seen. Now we have also read about the salivary glands, that in our mouth or in the buccal cavity 3 pairs of the salivary glands are present. Fine. Now these salivary glands are also secretion. They are secreting a kind of the watery secretion, that is called as the saliva. Now in this saliva a kind of the enzyme is present, that is called as the amylase enzyme. Now this amylase enzyme breaks down the starch into the simple sugars. As you all know that we are eating different kinds of the food substances, and these food substances, with the help of these food substances we are getting some kind of the nutrients. We are having the proteins, fats, carbohydrates, starch and the sugars, etc. So the main function of the amylase enzyme is what? That it breaks the starch into the simple sugars. Now the next one, we have also read about the food pipe or the esophagus tube, that what happened, that once the food is being chewed into our mouth, it with the help of the saliva it is being converted into a paste like form. Now that paste like form of the food is transferred, it is transported to our stomach with the help of a tube, that is called as the food pipe or the esophagus tube. So this also we have studied. Now today what we have to study, today we have to study the next part, that is called as the stomach. Now here you can see this is a picture of the stomach. This is a picture of the stomach. Now stomach is what? The stomach is a thick walled muscular bag. Here you can see this is a bag like structure. Fine. Thick walled bag, muscular bag like structure. Where it is present? It is present in the upper abdomen, as you have seen in the digestive system, that where it is present. Here you can see that where it is present. It is present in the upper abdomen. Fine. Now what is the shape of this stomach? Now here you can see that the shape of the stomach is little bit J shaped. Now children, don't get confused because you are reading different kinds of the books. Now in some books it is given that it is has a C shaped structure. So it is also looking like little bit C also, but if you will go through the NCRTs, then in that only it is given that it has a J shaped structure. Now this you can see that the stomach at one end it is attached to the esophagus tube, or you can say that or at one end it is attached to the esophagus or the food pipe, and at the other end where it is attached to the small intestine, means it has an opening in the small intestine. Fine. Now what happens, it receives the food from the food pipe at one end. All of you know that once the food is being chewed over here with the help of the buccal cavity, after that that food is being transported in this stomach. Now the stomach is also secreting a kind of the juice, that is called as a gastric juice. Which juice the stomach is secreting? The stomach is secreting the gastric juice. Fine. Now this gastric juice is made up of the mucus, hydrochloric acid as well as the digestive juices. Right, so stomach wall is secreting a kind of the juice that is called as the gastric juice, and this gastric juice composed of the mucus, hydrochloric acid as well as the digestive juices. Now one by one we will read about the mucus, hydrochloric acid and the digestive juices. Now see, mucus is what? The mucus is a slimy substance, right, that protects the lining of the stomach. It protects the lining of the stomach from the digestive juices. The next one, the gastric juice consists of the hydrochloric acid. Now see, hydrochloric acid, as we have read in the acids, bases and salts also, that hydrochloric acid is also present in our stomach, but it is present in a very dilute form. Now see, what is the function of this hydrochloric acid? Now see students, what happens, we are eating different kinds of food items in our whole day. Now whatever the food item we are eating, along with it some kind of the bacteria also enters into our stomach or into our body. Now as you all know that bacteria puts the adverse effect on our health. It is harmful for our body and it is harming us in a direct or the indirect way. So there is also a need to kill these bacteria, otherwise it will harm our body. So who is there to kill these bacteria? The HCl is present in our stomach. So this acid kills the bacteria, whichever the bacteria enters into our stomach with the help of the food, that bacteria is being killed with the help of this hydrochloric acid. Now the next one, that the gastric juice consists of the digestive juice. Now what is the function of a digestive juices? As you all know, it helps the food to digest properly. So digestive juice also contains an enzyme that helps to break down the proteins into the simpler components. What is the main function of the digestive juice? That it converts it break down the protein into the simpler components. So this is all about the gastric juice that is secreted by the stomach. Fine. Now this digestive juice, which is breaking down the protein into the smaller components, also break down the protein into the smaller substances. Like you can say, now this acid, whatever the HCl was present in our stomach, that also makes the medium acidic in the nature. Now when it makes the medium acidic, then it also helps the digestive juices to act properly. So this is all about the stomach. Let's have an overview that what is a stomach. Stomach is a thick-walled muscular bag, and where it is present in the upper part of the abdomen. Where it is present on the upper part of the abdomen, and according to the NCERT, the shape of the stomach is J-shaped. Fine. Where it is attached, at one end it is attached to the esophagus tube or the food pipe, and on the other end it is attached to the small intestine. Now stomach is also secreting a kind of the juice that is called as the gastric juice, and that gastric juice is made up of the three things. It consists of the three things, that is a mucus, hydrochloric acid and the digestive juices. Now what is a mucus? Mucus is a slimy substance that protects the lining of the stomach from the digestive juices. The next one is a hydrochloric acid. As we all know that along with the food, some kind of the bacteria also enters into our body. Now this bacteria puts the adverse effect on our health, so it is also necessary to kill this bacteria. So the function of the HCl is that it kills the bacteria, whatever the bacteria enters into our stomach, that is killed by this hydrochloric acid, so that it doesn't put adverse effect on our health or on our body. Now the next one is the digestive juice. Digestive juice is what? Digestive juice contains an enzyme that helps to break down the proteins into the simpler components. Now this hydrochloric acid also makes a medium acidic in our stomach. Fine. Now when it makes a medium acidic into our stomach, then it also helps the digestive juices to act properly. So this is all about the stomach. Now the next one that we have to study, that is about the small intestine. Now this is also the important part of the digestion. This is also the next compartment of the digestive system. So let us study very carefully. Now see, small intestine is also the most important part of the alimentary canal. as the process of the digestion is completed in this compartment. Fine. Now here you can see, as you can see in the picture also, that its small intestine is highly coiled. It is highly coiled, and how much long it is? It is approximately 7.5 meters long. So it is a too long. Now, as we have read in the previous video, and we are talking again and again, that the stomach and the small intestine are releasing some kind of the digestive juices. Fine. Now along with it, since it is releasing this, since the small intestine is releasing a kind of the juice, but further from that it also receives the secretions from the liver and the pancreas. Fine. Now the liver and the pancreas is also a gland which is also secreting a kind of the digestive juices. They are also secreting a kind of the juices which is also helpful for the digestion of the food. Fine. So let us study one by one that what is the liver, and the next one is what is in pancreas. So first of all, let's have a look that what is a liver. Now see, liver, you can see it here. You can see it here. Now it is a main thing about liver, that the liver is the largest gland in the body, and where it is located? It is located in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. Here you can see this is the liver, if you are able to see it. Now the color of the liver is what? The color of the liver is the reddish brown color. So which kind of the juice is being secreted by the liver? The liver is secreting a bile juice. Fine. Now the next one, as you can see, we have to read about the pancreas also. So have a look on the pancreas. What is a pancreas? Now here you can see that this is a large cream colored gland. As you can see that this is little bit cream in color, and where it is located? It is located just below the stomach. Now now pancreas is also secreting a kind of the juice that is called as a pancreatic juice, and this juice is also released into the intestine. Fine. So here you can see that the liver is what? We have read just now that the liver is a reddish brown gland, and where it is situated? It is situated on the upper part of the abdomen and on the right side. Now this thing you have to keep in mind, that which is the largest gland, all of you must be knowing. If someone asks you, suppose that which is the largest gland in the body, then the liver is the largest gland in the body. And which kind of the juice the liver is secreting? The liver is secreting a bile juice which is very much helpful for the digestion of the fats. Now this bile juice is also stored in a sac called as a gallbladder. Here you can see that the liver is there. Here you can see that the liver is there. Fine. And here you can see that this is a gallbladder. Now whatever the juice or it is secreted by the liver, that is stored where? That is stored in the gallbladder. This also you have to remember, that where the juice secreted by the liver is stored, it is stored in a sac like structure that is called as a gallbladder. Now whatever the bile juice is secreted by the liver, that is also very much helpful for the digestion of the food, and mainly in the digestion of the fats. If there will be a lack of the bile juice, then the fats will not be digested properly. So this is the main function of the bile juice, that it plays an important role in the digestion of the fats. Now the next one gland that we have to study, that is about the pancreas. Just now we have seen that the pancreas is a large cream colored gland, and where it is situated? It is located just below the stomach. Now the pancreas is also secreting a kind of the juice that is called as a pancreatic juice. Now this pancreatic juice, how it is helpful? This pancreatic juice acts on the carbohydrates, fats and the proteins, and this pancreatic juice convert these carbohydrates, fats and the proteins into the simpler forms. Fine. So this is the main function of the pancreatic juice. The juice contains the three types of the enzymes. Now this pancreatic juice is also it is also containing three kind of the enzymes. Now these three kinds of the enzymes act upon the carbohydrates, proteins and the fats. Separately, the enzymes break down into the simpler substances. Now see, with the help of these glands and with the help of these juices, the food is partly digested. Now whatever the partly digested food is remaining, that reaches where? That reaches into the lower part of the small intestine. As we all know that the small intestine is also secreting a kind of the juice that is helpful for the digestion of the food. So whatever the partly digested food is there, that reaches into the lower part of the small intestine. Now here the intestinal juice completes the digestion of all the components of the food. Whichever the components of the food was present, all the components of the food is being digested with the help of the juice which is secreted by the small intestine. Fine. Now what happens? The carbohydrates is broken down into the simple sugars, and that simple sugars is called what? That is called as a glucose. The fats is converted into the fatty acids and the glycerol, and the proteins is converted into the amino acids. So this is all about the small intestine. Once again you see that the small intestine is what? Small intestine is highly coiled in the nature, and you can see it clearly in the diagram also. And the length of small intestine is what? The length of the small intestine is 7.5 meter long. Now since the small intestine is secreting a kind of the digestive juice, but along with it, it is also receiving the secretions from the other glands, mainly from the liver and the pancreas. Now liver and pancreas are also the important glands because they are secreting a kind of the juice which is very much helpful for the digestion of the food. So first of all, liver is what? Liver is the largest gland. This you have to keep in mind. And the color of the liver is what? It is a reddish brown color gland. And where it is situated? It is situated on the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. Now it is secreting a kind of the juice that is called as a bile juice, and where it is stored? It is stored in a sac like structure that is called as a gallbladder. Now but this bile juice is mainly responsible for the digestion of the fats, whatever the fats we are intaking in our food items, so that fats is being digested with the help of this bile juice. Now the next one is a pancreas. The pancreas is what? The pancreas, as we have seen in the digestive system diagram, that it is a large cream colored gland, and where it is situated just below the stomach. Now it is also releasing a kind of juice that is called as a pancreatic juice, and this pancreatic juice acts on the carbohydrates, fats and the proteins and changes them into the simpler forms. Now see, once the food is being digested over here with the help of some kind of the juices, etc. Now whatever the partly digested food is there, that reaches into the lower part of the small intestine, where the small intestine is also secreting a kind of the juice that is called as a intestinal juice. Now this intestinal juice completes the digestion of all the components of the food. So mainly the carbohydrates is converted into the sugar, simple sugar, that is called as a glucose. Fats are converted into the fatty acids, and the proteins is converted into the amino acids in the small intestine. Now the next one that we have to study is about the absorption in the small intestine, that how the absorption takes place in the small intestine. Now see students, what happened once the food is being digested into the small intestine. Again, now this digested food is passed into the blood vessels. Now where these blood vessels are present? These blood vessels are present in the walls of the small intestine, in the inner walls of the intestine. Now this inner wall of the small intestine also contains the enormous number of the finger-like projections. As you can see here, this is the enormous number of the finger-like projections that is also called as a villi. Now the function of this villi is what? This villi, whatever the finger-like projection or the finger-like outgrowths that is present in the small intestine, it increases the surface area of the intestinal wall. And when it increases the surface area of the intestinal wall, then there is a more absorption of the food. Now once the food is being absorbed, after that this absorbed food is also transported to the different organs with the help of a blood vessels. Now this, when the food is being transported to the different organs with the help of a blood vessels, then this process is called as a assimilation. Fine. Now what happens in the cells? The glucose is broken down into the carbon dioxide and water. And how the glucose was formed? Right now we have studied that the carbohydrates is broken down into the glucose. Now this glucose is also broken down into the carbon dioxide and water in the presence of the oxygen. Now whatever the undigested food was there, that is sent into the large intestine, and there also the water is absorbed, some kind of the salts is absorbed. So this is all about the small intestine. Once again you can see that once the food is being digested into the small intestine, afterwards it is sent into the blood vessels. Fine. Now where these blood vessels are present? These blood vessels are present in the walls of the intestine, in the inner walls of the intestine. Fine. Now this process is called what? This process is called as a absorption. As we have read in the beginning that the absorption is what? Absorption is the soluble substances are absorbed into the blood fluids. Fine. Now the digested food is passed into the blood vessels. Blood vessels, where they are present? They are present in the inner walls of the small intestine. And this process is called what? This process is called as a absorption. Now see what happens. This inner wall of the small intestine have the enormous number of the finger-like projections or the outgrowths. Here you can see that this is a finger-like projection or the outgrowth. So this finger-like projection is called what? This is called as a villi. Now what is the function of this villi? This we have to study that in the small intestine. What is the function of the villi? So listen it very carefully that the function of the villi is that it increases the surface area for the absorption of the food. What is the function of the villi? First of all, what is villi? Villi is a finger-like projection or the finger-like outgrowth, and they are present in the enormous number. So these villi increases the surface area for the absorption of the food, because when there will be the absorption, then only we get the energy. So now once the food is being absorbed by these villis, after that this absorbed food is also sent, it is also transported to the different organs. It is also transported to the different organs with the help of a blood vessels. Whatever the food was absorbed by this villi, after that that absorbed food is transported to the different organs with the help of a blood vessels. Now this transportation of the food to the different organs with the help of the blood vessels is called what? That is called as a assimilation. And in the beginning also, in the previous video we have read about the assimilation in the animal nutrition. So this is called as a assimilation. Now what happened in the cells? The glucose is broken down into the oxygen, carbon dioxide and the water. Now how this glucose is broken down into the carbon dioxide and the water? It is broken down into the carbon dioxide and water in the presence of the oxygen. Fine. Now how this glucose was formed? As we have read in the small intestine that the carbohydrates is broken down into the simple sugars, that is called as a glucose. And that glucose, this glucose is broken down into the carbon dioxide, water and the energy in the presence of the oxygen. Now when this glucose is broken down into the carbon dioxide and the water in presence of the oxygen, then some amount of the energy is also released in it. Now when it is broken down into the carbon dioxide and the water, so energy is also released by it, and then only we are getting any kind of the energy to do any kind of the work. Now the food that remains undigested and the unabsorbed enters into the large intestine. So whatever the food was digested, that takes place in the small intestine, but some part of the food remains undigested, or the unwanted part of the food was there that was not absorbed, that is sent into the large intestine. So we have to read about the large intestine. Now see, large intestine, as you can see here, large intestine is what? Large intestine is wider, but it is shorter than the small intestine. This also you have to keep in mind that don't go with the name that it is large, then it will be larger in size. No, the large intestine is wider in shape, but it is shorter than the small intestine. Now, what is the length of the large intestine? The length of the large intestine is 1.5 meter. Now, what is the function of the large intestine? As we have read in the small intestine that whatever the unwanted part of the food is there or the undigested food was there that was not absorbed or the unwanted part is there, that is sent into this large intestine. Fine. Now in this large intestine, what happened? Whatever the salts was there, whatever the salts and the water was there, that is being absorbed by this large intestine. Now after absorption of the salt and after absorption of the water, whatever the remaining part is there, this remaining waste is passes into the rectum, and there it is converted into the semi-solid phases. Now this solid phases in the form of the fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time, and this process is called as a egestion. So what is a large intestine? The large intestine is what? The large intestine is approximately 1.5 meter in length, but it is shorter than the small intestine, but it is also wider than the small intestine. Now what is the function of the large intestine? Whatever the unwanted part of the food is there, that is being sent into the large intestine. Here the salts and the water is absorbed by the large intestine. Now whatever the leftover or the waste part is there, that is expelled out from the body or excreted out from the body with the help of some organs. First of all, it is sent into the rectum, and after that it is remains in the form of the semi solid feces. Now this fecal is also removed from the body with the help of some kind of the organ. So this is all about the large intestine, and this process of removing the unwanted part from the body or the undigested food from the body is called what? This is called as the egestion. Now the egestion also we have read in the previous video in the animal nutrition. So this is all about the digestive system. Here the digestive system is over. Once again, let us have an overview. First of all, what happens? The food goes into our mouth, into our buccal cavity. After that, with the help of the esophagus tube or the food pipe, it is being sent into the stomach. There the stomach is secreting a kind of the juice that is called as a gastric juice. Now gastric juice is made up of it consists of the three components that is called as a mucus, as well as a hydrochloric acid and the digestive juices. Now what is the function of the HCl? That the HCl or the hydrochloric acid kills the bacteria that enters into our mouth, or into our body with the help of the food that we have eaten. So that bacteria is being killed by the HCl. Afterwards, once the food is being digested into the stomach, again it is sent into the small intestine. There the small intestine is also secreting a kind of the juice. Along with it, it is also receiving the secretions from the glands, from the liver and the pancreas. Now the liver is secreting which kind of juice? The liver is secreting the bile juice, which is helpful for the digestion of the fat. Now the pancreas where it is situated? It is situated just below the stomach. Fine. Now what is the function of this pancreatic juice? Pancreatic juice is also very much helpful. See, pancreas is also releasing a kind of the juice that is called as a pancreatic juice. Now this pancreatic juice is also helpful for the digestion of the carbohydrates, proteins and the fats, because this pancreatic juice also contains the three kinds of the enzymes and that act upon the carbohydrates, proteins and the fats. Now whatever the leftover part is there, partly digested food is there, that is sent into the lower part of the small intestine. There the small intestine is also secreting a kind of juice. With the help of that juice, that partly digested food is also digested into the simpler forms. Now whatever the unwanted part or the leftover part is there, that is being sent into the large intestine. Undigested part of the food is sent into the large intestine. Now large intestine is what? Large intestine is about 1.5 meter long, but it is smaller than the small intestine, but it is also wider than the small intestine. Now what happens here? Whatever the unwanted part or the undigested part of the food was there, from that the the salts as well as the water is absorbed, and after that it is being converted into the semi solid phases. Now this semi solid part or the waste part of this food is being removed from our body, or it is eliminated or expelled out from our body with the help of some organs. Now, so likewise the food is digested in our body. So this is all about the digestive system. Hope you have understood the things about the digestive system. So thank you everyone, and if this video is helpful for you, then please like, share and subscribe my channel. And for more improvement regarding to this video, you can give your suggestions below in the comment box. Thank you everyone.